Welcome to Getting Started with Bella. In this short tutorial, we will show you how easy Bella is to use and how in less than 10 minutes you will be on your way to a more efficient and fun method for managing your organization's volunteers. We will cover the following in this tutorial: creating your administrator account, adding volunteer positions that your volunteers can then sign up and schedule themselves for, adding existing volunteers to the Bella database, and most importantly, building your own online volunteer application so you can sign up new volunteers, no matter if you're on a desktop computer, tablet, or smartphone. All right, let's get started. After you sign up for a Bella account, you will receive an email to complete your account setup. Just click the link and fill in the final details. Most importantly, you will need to remember your username and password. Now just click the Submit button and voila, your shiny new Bella account awaits. If for some reason you get logged out of your account or need to log in on another computer or mobile device, just go to bellaportal.com, click the Login button, and enter your account information. When you first log in, you will find yourself on the Quick View page. Quick View is like a notifications dashboard that brings the most important actionable items to your immediate attention, like approving new applicants and verifying trainings have taken place or identifying volunteers that have been inactive for a couple of months so you know it's time to reach out and re-engage them. The first thing you will want to do is add your possible volunteer positions to Bella. This allows you to organize and communicate with your volunteers and applicants based on interests, roles, and teams. You can do this by either clicking in the Getting Started checklist or by going to the Viewing Volunteers page, clicking on the Volunteer Settings dropdown, and clicking Manage Groups Positions. You can learn a little more about what this feature offers here. To create your first group or position, click the New Group button. Give it a name, such as Dog Walker, and add a description. This is where you can be upfront about the responsibilities of this role or group, any training or qualification that will be required, and even the expected time commitment. This way, volunteers will know what they might be getting themselves into. The Show on Application box controls if this position will appear as a possible interest on the volunteer application. More about that in a minute. If you check the Required Training box, this position and all of its available shifts on the calendar will only be visible to volunteers who are actually qualified for the position. That way you don't run the risk of volunteers trying to sign up for things they aren't properly trained for. When you're done, click Save. You can always edit the position later. Okay, now let's go back to the Quick View and see what else we can do. The next item on our handy little list is adding your organization's existing volunteers to Bella. Each volunteer you add will be sent an email with their own Bella volunteer account login information. So they can log in, update their profile information, for example if they've changed addresses or got a new phone number, and start signing up for volunteer opportunities. To manually start adding volunteers, click the link in the Getting Started checklist, or click the Viewing Volunteers tab, click the Add Volunteers dropdown, and then choose Add Volunteer. If you already have a database or spreadsheet with your volunteers in it, you can go back to the Viewing Volunteers tab, click Add Volunteer, and this time click the Bulk Import Volunteers button, and we will help you transfer your database to Bella. For now, let's continue by manually adding volunteers. When manually adding volunteers, just type in their basic information, choose which groups or positions to approve them for, and click Save. This will create their account and send an email with their login information. You can customize the email that is sent to them by editing the Welcome Email section. Just be sure not to change the odd-looking placeholder text for their username and password. The system will automatically replace these text fields with the volunteer's actual login information when it sends the email. Even if you don't think you will be adding volunteers with this manual method, we highly recommend first adding yourself so you can get an idea of what the experience will be like as a volunteer. So let's go on a quick tangent to see what that experience looks like. Here's an example of what the welcome email might look like for a volunteer. They just have to click the link in the email, enter their username and password, and click Login. As you can see, the login process for a volunteer account is the same as it is for your organization administrator account. Once they are logged in, though, the volunteer account looks very different from the organization administrator account. It's a minimal interface that provides just the right set of tools for them to efficiently log volunteer hours by checking in and checking out, and quickly view the upcoming opportunities they have signed up for so they don't forget to show up. To check in, all they have to do is choose the type of shift they are checking in for from the drop-down box. In this case, the only type of shift available today is dog walking, and then click Check In. When finished, they can click Check Out, and their hours will be logged with your organization. If they haven't yet signed up for any future opportunities, as is the case here, they can click the Find an Opportunity button to see what volunteer opportunities your organization is currently looking to fill. They can apply to an opportunity by clicking the Apply button. You or one of your organization's admins will then be notified and can approve or deny them the opportunity. Once approved, this opportunity will appear in their upcoming RSVPs section. Volunteers can also schedule any necessary training and view important resources you have uploaded. For example, training manuals, directory information, or other useful information you might think your volunteers will need access to. Okay, now let's move on to the next item on your checklist, building your volunteer application. Click the link in the Quick View checklist or click on the Recruiting tab, click the Recruitment Settings dropdown, and choose Volunteer Application Builder. The Application Builder allows you to create your very own custom volunteer application form to sign up new volunteers no matter where they might be. All they need is the web link to your form, which you can get by clicking the Get Application Link button at the top of the page. Let's click this link to see what the form looks like. As you can see, the volunteer application form comes preloaded with sections for basic information, availability, and emergency contacts. These are some of the most common information gathering questions a typical organization might need for signing up new volunteers. To customize this form for your own organization's needs, use the Add Custom Questions feature. Let's quickly add some customization just for fun. First, we'll add a header for a section we want labeled as Previous Volunteer Experience. Now let's add a couple questions. Make sure you always click the Save button before leaving the application builder, otherwise your changes will be lost. You can preview these changes by clicking the Preview Application button. Let's say we decided this question wasn't necessary. All we have to do is delete the text for that question in the application builder and click Save, and boom, question is gone. Another handy feature on the application builder is the Interests section. The form automatically generates checkboxes for these interests based on the groups or positions you added earlier in this tutorial. Once the applicant submits the form, you will be able to review their application and approve them as a possible volunteer for the positions they've expressed interest in, or set them up for training if the position has a training requirement. The third way to customize this form is if you have a standard set of terms or waiver of liability that volunteers must agree to before signing up. You can add those terms here. Otherwise, just leave this section blank. If you do add a waiver to your application, all applicants will be required to electronically sign the form during the submission process, and a copy of the waiver will be saved in the user's profile in the Viewing Volunteers tab. So that's how you create your application. But how might you easily send the form to prospective volunteers and follow up with them later? Let's take a quick look at Bella's volunteer lead generation tools on the Recruitment tab. Let's say you're at an event promoting your volunteer program, or just met someone who is interested in volunteering at your organization. This person likely won't have time to complete your application form on the spot, but they want to give you their email and possibly sign up as a volunteer later. With our volunteer lead generation tools, this process is easy as pie. Just click the recruitment settings and choose the volunteer lead page. You can keep this page open on your mobile phone, iPad, or other tablet computer and ask people who are interested in volunteering to enter their name and email. When they click Submit, they will be added to your organization's leads list so you can follow up with them later. They will also automatically receive an email like this one. In the email is a special link to your volunteer application form. Once they open the form, the leads page will update to let you know they have viewed it. And once they submit the form, they will appear as an actual applicant awaiting your approval. Okay, that's it for this tutorial. We will cover other parts of the Bella system later on. Hopefully this has given you a good idea of the power of Bella and how it can help you spend less time worrying about volunteer management and more time focusing on promoting your organization and making an impact.